Right now, someone is judging you. They are dissecting your choices, your clothes, the way you speak, and the way you earn your living. They have built a version of you in their head that is small, manageable, and fundamentally incorrect. The worst part is not that they are doing it. The worst part is that you are letting their mental image of you dictate your physical reality. You are living in a cage where the bars are made of other people's opinions. Most people die in that cage without ever realizing the door was never locked. By the time we finish this session, you will understand the mechanics of social detachment. You will learn why your biological need for approval is the very thing keeping you weak, and how to weaponize your independence to build a life that is truly untouchable. Let's begin with the glitch. Humans are wired for tribal survival. 10,000 years ago, being disliked by the group meant death by starvation or predators. Your brain still thinks it's 10,000 years ago. When you feel that sting of social anxiety or the hesitation to chase a goal because your friends might laugh, that is your lizard brain screaming at you to stay in the cave. But there is no cave anymore. There is only the crowd, and the crowd is almost always wrong. Jung wrote about the persona, the mask we wear to make ourselves palatable to the collective. He warned that if you wear the mask too long, you forget who is underneath. You become a shadow of a person, a hollowed-out vessel for other people's expectations. This is where most people live. They call it being realistic or being a team player. It is actually a slow, polite suicide of the soul. The disturbing part is that the people around you, the ones who claim to care, often have a vested interest in keeping you where you are. If you change, if you grow, if you suddenly stop caring about their critique, it holds a mirror up to their own stagnation. They don't want you to succeed. They want you to remain predictable. Why does it feel so heavy? Why does the weight of a comment from a cousin or a former coworker feel like a physical blow? It's because of the law of perceived status. We are trained to look upward for validation. Machiavelli observed that the general population is satisfied as long as they are not being actively oppressed. But the moment someone breaks the mold, the population reacts with reflexive hostility. You have been conditioned to see this hostility as a sign that you are doing something wrong. In reality, it is usually a sign that you are finally doing something right. The hidden mechanism of resilience starts with a cold, hard detachment. You must stop looking for permission. Most people wait for a green light from their social circle before they start a business, change their lifestyle, or chase a vision. That light is never coming. Think about the last time you shared a big idea. Did they ask you how you'd execute it, or did they list all the reasons why it would fail? Most people never realize that when others give advice, they are actually just describing their own fears. They aren't talking about your limitations, they are narrating their own. Nietzsche spoke about the spirit becoming a lion. The lion's task is to create its own freedom and say no even to duty when that duty is a lie. Are you a lion? Or are you a beast of burden carrying the baggage of 100 people who don't even know themselves? The strategic implication here is simple but brutal. If you aren't hurting anyone, if you aren't being malicious or evil, then your path is yours alone. But gut instinct is a muscle that has likely atrophied because you've let other people do your thinking for you. You need to listen to the voices of family and friends, not because they are right, but because they provide data points. They see things you don't, but seeing is not deciding. You take their information, you weigh it against your internal compass, and then you discard what doesn't fit. If you find this perspective challenging, it's because your ego is trying to protect the safety of the herd. If this message resonates with the person you are becoming, stay close to this channel. It is a small signal to your own mind that you are choosing a different frequency. Now, Let's talk about the drive to madness. There are people in your life who act like emotional parasites. They thrive on your reactions. They poke, they prod, they criticize, under the guise of just being honest. They drive you crazy because they want access to your mental energy. The untouchable person practices radical detachment. When someone tries to pull you into their chaos, you must become a ghost. You don't argue, you don't explain yourself. Explaining yourself is a form of submission. It is an admission that they have the right to judge you. They don't. Robert Greene notes that your reputation is the cornerstone of your power. But a reputation built on being a nice guy who listens to everyone is a reputation of weakness. A reputation built on being unmovable and slightly mysterious is a reputation of strength. You must be willing to let people think they are winning. Let them think they have you figured out. Let them think you're failing. While they're busy narrating your life, you should be busy building it in the dark. This brings us to the architecture of the goal. Big goals are intimidating. They invite mockery because they seem impossible. This is why you must learn the art of the small step. You don't tell the world you're building a cathedral. You just lay one brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. Then you do it again tomorrow. The lack of support is not a hurdle, it's a filter. It filters out the people who are only there for the celebration. If you can move forward when nobody is clapping, you become dangerous. You become someone who cannot be stopped by the withdrawal of social rewards. Most people are addicted to the dopamine hit of a good job or a like. When that stops, they quit. If you can train yourself to operate in the void of silence, you gain a superpower. The shocking truth of it all is this: you are going to die. It sounds blunt because it is. In 80 years, every person whose opinion you are currently worried about will be dust. Their critiques will be forgotten. Their advice will be irrelevant. The only thing that will remain is the life you actually lived. Did you live it as a background character in someone else's play? Or did you have the courage to be the protagonist of your own, even if the audience booed? True resilience is not about being tough, it's about being indifferent to the irrelevant. It's about sticking to your guts when the wind is blowing against you. It's about realizing that staying in your lane is only good advice if you didn't design the road yourself. If you don't have support, fine. Support is a luxury, not a necessity. Work in the shadows. Make your plans in private. Execute with a cold, calculated precision. The world doesn't need more people who fit in. It needs people who are untouchable. People who have looked at the social contract, seen the fine print that demands their soul in exchange for comfort, and torn it to pieces. You have the tools. You have the logic. You have the voice inside you that has been muffled for years. It's time to stop listening to the noise and start listening to the silence. Because in that silence is where your real power lives. The question isn't who is going to let you. The question is who is going to stop you. Most will try. None will succeed, provided you stop giving them the remote control to your emotions. Be decent. Be fair. But above all, be gone from the reach of those who wish to pull you back down to their level. Build your empire one silent brick at a time. The world will see the structure eventually. By then, you'll be so far ahead, their voices won't even be echoes.